Welcome back to another episode of the Hot Seat Podcast, brought to you by the Playbook Boys. My name is Wilson.
Hey.
To my left, I got my boy Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
And today we'll be talking about some tier lists for some NFL teams. We're gonna be putting these NFL teams into different tiers that we got that we're gonna be showing you guys in a bit. All 32 NFL teams. I got my boy Anthony. We're gonna be kind of ranking them. What you gotta say about what you gotta say about today?
I gotta say, thank you guys for getting us to 200 subscribers. I think at this point we're gonna be at 200 subscribers. So shout out you guys. Thank you for the love lately on the channel. Appreciate the love on the draft video. Hopefully you guys are showing loves on the videos coming out these next couple days as well. Yeah, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Playbook Sports HQ. We got a tier list in front of us. These are the tiers that we're gonna be using. SB favorites to win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl contenders. People to contend towards the Super Bowl. Playoff teams, potential wild cards, missing playoff teams, mediocre at best, young but intriguing, and number one pick contention. Deucer's going to be put to work today because he's going to have to figure out which NFL team is which logo.
I know all of them.
You do?
I can name them all.
Okay.
All right.
Then we'll see it. Pick a random one, Will, and we'll talk about it, and then maybe put one in.
Just pick a random one.
Yeah. Don't start with like an easy one.
All right, let's do the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers. How's that one look, Izzy? To,
Okay, maybe I don't know.
okay.
Hey.
Oh, to
Got
start
him.
with the Buccaneers, we gotta agree, okay?
Yeah.
Say agree. I would put the Buccaneers in potential wild card.
Oh, I got it.
Nice, you did
That's
get it.
wild cards.
I don't think they're like a lock to win the division
Yeah.
because I do believe a little bit more in the Panthers. I think the Saints are gonna be bad, and then why am I blanking on the other team in the division? This is the shittiest division in football. It's always Buccaneers, Panthers, Saints,
And Falcons.
Falcons.
Yeah.
And I think the Falcons are going to be a lot better next year, too.
Yeah, I think so too. You say potential wild cards?
Yeah, what do you think?
So you got the Falcons in there. Yeah, I really think the Buccaneers could be the second best team in this division. So
Just put potential. They don't got to be.
I mean, who else do you have in the NFC? You got Eagles, Lions,
Packers could be
Packers.
wild card.
Niners.
Well, Niners are winning that division.
Yeah.
But maybe Seahawks, maybe Cardinals. There's
Okay.
a lot. There's probably a lot of potential wild cards.
There's a lot. I would put that potential wild cards.
Okay. Let's head over. Let's just start from the top. Let's go with the Saints next.
Yeah.
For me, you say first. Actually, what do you think about the Saints?
The Saints, they're at a weird position right now.
Uh-huh.
You know, yeah, it's like they still have Alvin Kamara. The quarterback situation, Derek Carr, he's mediocre. Chris Olave, he's really the only young guy in the offense that's really like hopeful for that team. They just drafted an offensive lineman too.
Police.
Yeah, and their defense isn't bad though.
It's just old. I feel like.
Everyone's aging. That's true. I want to say mediocre at best.
Really,
I don't know. What do you think?
dude, I would have put them in number one pick contention.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think they're that bad.
really. I think they're gonna. I mean, we could put them in mediocre at best for now. But by the end, we got to have some teams in that number one pick contention. So I feel like they're going to be one of those teams that drops.
Okay.
But I'm cool putting them in mediocre. I feel like they are kind of the definition of an average team.
Mediocre for now.
Toss them in there, Deucer. Mediocre.
So we got the Dolphins.
Dolphins. I feel like Dolphins got to be in one of those top 3 slots, right?
Yeah.
Or you think they wild card potential?
See the Dolphins. I mean, high electric offense. I think
Tough division.
the division.
Aaron Rodgers coming back. Josh Allen obviously lost weapons, but I think if I had to bet on it, I think the Dolphins end up winning that division. I
Yeah.
feel like the Bills got a little bit worse. Dolphins didn't get much better, but with another year of like Tua, Waddle, Tyreek,
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be either the Dolphins or the Jets.
yeah.
So I think I would put them as a playoff team.
I also feel like out of every team in the league, the Dolphins have the most to prove next year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or maybe the Bengals, but the Dolphins just I feel like need to like actually go out there and do something.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go with Miami, playoff team.
Playoff team.
Ravens, bro. Gotta be
Ravens.
contenders, right?
I think contenders at least.
Contenders. What about favorite?
Favorites?
Like the
Let's see.
top team, the favorites have to be like we can't have every team in the favorites, you know.
Yeah.
We'll get that out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, they had they did lose, what's his face?
Matabuki? Or no.
I'm blanking.
Patrick Queen?
They did lose Patrick Queen, that's for sure. But they drafted a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
They got Derrick Henry, so obviously the offense is better. Now they got Mark Andrews back at full health.
Yep.
I would put it as contenders. We could do contenders.
Contender. Okay, real quick though, before we lock in that, you could leave it there, but I feel like the Super Bowl favorites are the Chiefs and the Niners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say the Ravens are number 3? And then we could just lock that division down. Chiefs, Niners, Ravens.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really like the Ravens, so I think so. Maybe even the Lions, bro.
Lions over the Ravens?
I think they're like right there in there, neck and neck. I really like the Lions.
Okay. Let's settle back down. Can we get the Niners and the Chiefs though in the favorites? Can we lock that in?
Yeah, we can lock it in.
All right, locked in the Niners and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have to since they were just in the Super Bowl.
Those are the two guys.
Yeah.
I think you're right where Ravens and Lions have to be in the same tier. Now,
Yeah.
whether that's contenders or favorites
Mm-hmm.
is where we could argue, but
We'll go down the list.
go down the list. Bengals.
Bengals,
Bengals are so weird.
they're a really weird team right now, especially now. 'Cause we don't know how like Joe Burrow's gonna come back.
I feel like ever since they made the Super Bowl, the expectation for them has been like, oh, they're Super Bowl contenders. But me personally, I feel like that ship has kind of sailed.
Yeah, and they're in a really tough division too.
The toughest.
The toughest, definitely the toughest.
But you could still be a Super Bowl contender, even not a favorite probably, but you could be a contender and be a wild card team. I feel like if you're in a tough division like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would put the Bengals. Ooh, wait.
I mean, one of these teams in this division has to miss the playoffs, right?
And I think the Bengals, I would put them in potential wild cards. That's where I put
Potential
them.
wild cards.
What do you think? I think if any of the 4 teams in the AFC North have to miss the playoffs, it's the Browns.
The Browns. I'm kind of feeling that trend too.
The Browns kind of just felt like it was such a one-off season.
Yeah. I could agree with you.
Okay.
Potential wild cards.
Potential wild cards. Maybe we move them up to playoff teams if we feel a little better. But Broncos, bro, those are your boys. I'm just going to put this out there. Number 1 pick contention. But if you feel a different way, talk about it.
Yeah. I hate it, bro. I hate the position we're in, man. It sucks. I miss you, Peyton Manning. I miss you, bro. I miss 2015.
Peyton or Sean Payton?
Yeah, I mean we do have like
What?
a lot of young guys, that's for sure, but enough to put us at like young and intriguing.
Bro, some teams have to be number 1 pick contenders, bro.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like the Broncos might be the shittiest roster in the NFL. Read what you're looking at, bro. Read
Bro.
from here down out loud.
We got a lot of young players though. I'm not gonna lie.
And Jarrett Stidham, Bo Nix, Zach Wilson. 3 dudes who either have proven they can't do it or unproven.
I mean, Bo Nix we're still waiting on, right? So
Unproven.
unproven.
Right? Javante is cool, but I know you don't rock with him the same way.
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton, I actually think is going to have a big year because the team is so shit. Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims. And then your defense pretty much is just PS2.
I wouldn't say all that.
Come on. Name another good defender on this team.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, we might be number 1 pick contention, bro.
Throw it in there.
It sucks
Couldn't
to say
be me.
it, but you know, every team has to be in that kind of position at least one time. You guys were.
We were.
Yeah,
You're right.
so
Giants.
I'll own up to it. I think this is number 1 pick contention too.
I don't feel that confident about the Saints over the Giants. Is that crazy to say?
The Saints over the Giants.
I don't feel like
I feel like the Giants kind of a shit roster.
they do, but I feel like there's more there than the Saints have.
I mean, they did trade for Brian Burns, so they have Burns and
Dexter
Kayvon.
Lawrence. Come on, bro. I feel like that's a better team than
Don't say it, bro.
the Saints.
Nah, I still gotta pick the Saints over that.
All right, we got to come to an agreement. Can I put the Giants at young but intriguing? Malik Neighbors, Daniel Jones, young defense.
Drew Lock.
Chill. Tommy D.
Fuck. When I think about young and intriguing, I think about like almost like all rookie / like second, third years. But
Let's come back to them then.
we'll come back. All right.
What's a team that you see on that board right now that you'd put in young but intriguing?
Young but intriguing? The Texans.
Chill.
Nah.
I think like Carolina.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Panthers.
Toss them in there.
Let's do.
Toss it. No, I can't. I'm not gonna overrule. But come on, like there's a lot of shittier teams than the Giants. Like the Bear or no, I'm tripping. My bad. I forgot. But like the Commanders, right? Or you still rock with the Commanders, you believe?
Commanders, for young and intriguing.
I think for number 1 pick contention.
No 1 pick contention. I mean, they got Jaden Daniels. I'm thinking maybe he can cook up some stuff in Washington.
You know, after looking at this list, I agree with you. I think put the Panthers at number 1 pick contention.
Panthers?
Giants, sorry.
Giants?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I feel like I like what the Giants have and I like what the Giants have built, but I feel like there's a lot of like better teams.
Yeah.
You know.
There's still a lot to figure out in New York over there.
What about Patriots? Number 1 pick?
Yeah. Number 1 pick.
Throw them in there. They're at the end of the row right there. Yeah, number 1. Okay. Okay, now where are we going, Will?
Okay.
We're building. I feel like it looks good so far.
It looks good. Still got some missing playoff teams that we need to fill out in there. We'll just start with the Vikings.
Vikings?
I think they're a missing playoff team.
Yeah, I don't trust JJ.
Yeah.
Missing playoff team.
Because, I mean, J.J. McCarthy, like, a
Justin
lot of people shit
Jefferson.
on him. Yeah.
Jordan Addison. They lost Danielle Hunter. I'm agreeing with you there. I'll put them in missing playoff as well.
Yeah, and you also got to, like, fight between the Lions and the Packers and the Bears, which I think are all better
It's a
teams.
bloodbath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw
So,
them on there.
missing playoff team.
Yeah. Missing playoffs.
I don't think the teams are young enough to be like,
Young and intriguing.
yeah.
I think the Rams are.
Young and intriguing.
Yeah, I feel like with Kyron, Blake Corum,
I agree with that.
yeah, throw them in there. I don't got to list their roster.
Yeah, they got a lot of young, like random guys too. Honestly.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
some of them are gonna hit. You know, the
Uh-huh.
Lions are a team we talked about already, but we could throw them in the Super Bowl contenders for now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll move them up to the favorites depending on how everything kind of pans out.
Mm-hmm.
Bears.
Bears is interesting. See, if young and intriguing wasn't like the second worst tier, I'd put them at young and intriguing because they're a really young and intriguing team. So it's just like those are the two words that really explain what they are.
Yeah.
But
Hold up. Settle. Dial back, boy. Oh,
still got the Lions and Packers to compete with.
yeah. And we've already settled. So they got to be over the Vikings, right? Are they a potential wild card? Potential doesn't mean they're like a guaranteed wild card.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if you said the Bears were in the wild card next year.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised too, but it's like I don't know. I would.
Okay, what if we do this, right? What if we put the Bears in potential wild cards, and then we move the Bengals up to playoff team?
I don't know the Bengals. So what we have the Bengals at? We have them at potential wild cards.
Yeah. So like they could still be a wild card team, but a playoff team. But it's more just
Yeah.
saying like, I think they're gonna make the playoffs rather than they could be a wild card team.
Okay, I could agree with that.
All right, throw them up there, Izzy. Move them up. Eagles.
Eagles.
Got to be contenders, right?
I think so. That kind of roster on paper
Yeah.
looks really good. Raiders.
Okay.
I know what you're gonna say for this one.
Before we do that, I think we got to move the Lions and Ravens up.
To favorites.
Yeah, I feel like they're in a different tier than the Eagles. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean,
And then we don't have to touch that tier after that.
yeah. I think 2 AFC and 2 NFC teams are perfect.
Yeah. Cool.
For that. So let's do it.
Raiders.
Raiders.
What do you think I was going to say to that?
I mean, I'm gonna talk about what I think they're gonna be. I don't think they're gonna make playoffs.
Okay.
I think there's still some young guys on that team. I think they didn't really make any like great picks though. Nothing intriguing, at least. I would say mediocre at best.
Really? You don't think they could be number 2 in your division?
Number 2. I mean, they could be. They could be
What if we put them in missing?
missing playoffs. Yeah,
Because they're going to be 10-7.
10-7.
I think that's a little slightly over mediocre. Compared to like the Saints, I feel like the Saints could be under 500.
Okay. You mean the Raiders are gonna go 10-7?
I think so. Like, are you taking the Raiders or the Vikings next season?
Am I taking the Raiders or the Vikings next season?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that might fit. That might fit on the same tier. Raiders and Vikings.
Let's do it. Packers.
Packers.
Go Pack, go Cheeseheads. Shout out KB.
Sheesh. I think it's a playoff team.
I think that's where I was thinking too.
Yeah. Jordan Love's only gonna get better.
Mm-hmm.
Got your boy Christian Watson fully healthy now too.
Mm-hmm. What else?
I was just talking about Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
We got I don't know who.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. That's true.
Jair.
Yeah.
Kenny Clark.
Solid defense too.
Solid D.
That's definitely a playoff team.
Washington. They have a lot of vets. Bobby Wagner, Austin Eckler.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting team. I feel like it's all mixed around. They got like rookies, they got vets, they got guys that have been in the league for a little bit too.
They could be sneaky.
They could be sneaky.
But I look at the tiers, and I wouldn't put them in the same tier as the Raiders.
Like above the Raiders?
I would put them under the Raiders.
Under the Raiders?
I think. I don't know if they're young enough to be young and intriguing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't say so. So mediocre at best.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
We're pretty agreeing so far.
Yeah. I like this list coming up right now.
I do too. Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I like the Cardinals a lot next year, bro.
Yeah.
I might be high on them.
Dude, I feel like there's a lot of teams in this league that could actually make the playoffs.
Yes.
But we really just have to even it out, you know?
I would put them in wild cards or playoff teams.
Wild cards or playoff teams. I would say wild cards between those two.
Or are you thinking missing?
But they could miss. That's true. I'm debating between wild card and missing right now.
Why? Talk it out.
Because obviously you have the Niners, and then it's really between. I feel like it could be like a 3-way tie between like the Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah, maybe more towards like the Seahawks and Cardinals. Because I don't know how the QB situation is gonna pan out in Seattle. You know.
That's why I'm saying I feel like the Cardinals kind of lock in that 2 spot. You got Kyler, you got Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson. That defense isn't going to be anything, but I don't think they need to. I feel like that offense might be. I mean, I know I said this last week, and I kind of got frauded out, but like top 8 offense, I wouldn't be surprised.
Top 8, yeah. I mean, you still have Trey McBride too to work with.
Yes.
But I don't know. I feel like the Rams and Seahawks defense is still better than the Cardinals defense.
I agree. So you want to put a missing for now, and then maybe we play with it after?
Yeah, I'll put missing.
Steelers.
I kind of like the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say
TJ Watt, Russell Wilson.
I think potential wild cards.
Potential?
Yeah.
I like it.
I think they could be the second best team in that division.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if. Oh, never mind. Ravens tripping. Yeah, number 2. The way this list is looking, I kind of want to move the Bears down.
Bears down to
Missing the playoffs.
Yeah, we could do that.
Just because I don't think they're on the same tier as those other teams.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
The
I
Bills.
like that. The Bills.
How many teams make the playoffs? 14?
14. Yeah, 7-on-7. Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
We have 10 right now. I think the Bills are a playoff team too.
Bills, even with Dolphins and Jets in the mix.
I feel like they figure it out every year, bro. Like last year, they
Yeah.
shouldn't have made the playoffs, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Josh Allen is about to just explode this year.
But they lost their best receiver.
They lost their best 2 receivers.
2 receivers.
So drop them down one. I feel like they got a chip on their shoulder too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like the Bills have had so many experience in the playoffs and making the playoffs too, like you said, like just everyone doubts them, but they get it. But I think in that tier of Steelers and Buccaneers is good for them for now.
Okay. I want to skip these next 3 for a second and
Yeah.
talk about the 2 teams after that, the 2 Texas teams.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to be Super Bowl contenders, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Cool. The Cowboys, I'm not trying to think of like, damn. I'm not trying to think like, not disrespectfully or anything. Like not about like how their playoffs always go, but on paper, bro, this team I think is a Super Bowl contender too.
Cowboys?
I feel like every year they disappoint in the playoffs, but when you just look at their roster, like you kind of got to put them as contenders.
Yeah, I mean let's kind of look at their players. They got Dak, CD. I think CD's gonna have a really great year
If he plays for them.
if he plays in that. Still, Drake
Their
Ferguson,
defense
he's
is
all right.
so good.
Defense is pretty good. You get Trayvon Diggs back, Eric Kendricks. That's the only really guy they added though off season.
Yeah.
Eric Kendricks.
Wait, did Malik Hooker leave and come back or no? Has he been there?
I think he's been there.
I don't know why. I felt like he went to the Colts and then came back. Oh, no. I'm tripping. Okay.
So you're saying it's a playoff team?
I think they're contenders.
Contenders.
Like, on paper, they should be. But they always choke in the playoffs. So it just depends how you want to look at it. But would
Yeah.
you agree with me? Like, if I told you that the Broncos had Dak, CD, in that defense, you would probably say they're contenders. But because it's
Yeah.
the Cowboys and they choke every year.
It's kind of funny because we've seen throughout the years so many times we've choked. I feel like the Cowboys right now, their stock is like so low when really they're getting like underrated.
Okay.
'Cause not a lot of people are like you said, like on paper they look really good, but like we always look back at like the history and playoffs and how they've performed, and they've always choked. So, and there's always that one team that comes out every year that we don't expect that goes on like a run.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that could be the Cowboys.
Really? Okay. So they're
So-
definitely getting counted out to you.
Yeah. I don't know. So a part of me still puts them at playoff teams though, but let's put them at Super Bowl contenders first though.
Okay. And then maybe I just don't see any of, I mean, maybe Miami. But Bengals and Packers, I feel like, at least as a roster, aren't better than the Cowboys.
You think they're on the same level as the Eagles and Texans though?
No. Fuck. Maybe move them down then?
Playoff teams?
Yeah.
We'll put them at playoff teams.
Good point. Okay. We could go back to going through the list now. Unless you had a different team you want to talk about.
Let's start with Atlanta. Let's go Atlanta.
I think Atlanta's potential wild card.
Potential wild card. I would say so. Yeah.
Kirko. It just depends how long he's out for. You know?
Also depends if Penix gets in the mix too.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see that.
I would too. I feel like this is looking nice, bro. I feel like the balance is sexy.
Yes, sir.
Seahawks.
Seahawks, I would say mediocre at best.
I was thinking the fucking
Yeah.
spot on same
Because they're
thing.
low-key like the most mediocre team ever.
Yeah. Every year, bro.
Yeah.
Unless they have Russell Wilson. Cleveland. Cleveland, bro, I don't think is going to have a good year next year. I'm not, like, I like them with Flacco, but I don't like Watson. I don't think Watson.
Yeah, I don't know if he could be trusted as much anymore. He just doesn't look the same as
Not
he
at
was
all.
before. Would you say mediocre at best again?
I think I'd put them in
Or
missing
playoff
playoffs.
teams?
Yeah, because I
That's
think
what
they're
I said.
better than those three teams.
I could agree with that.
Chargers, I think we got to put them bottom two. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Herbert and friends.
Let's see.
Herbert and the UCLA flag football team.
How old's Herbert right now?
20. I'm gonna say 27, 26, 20. Yeah, 26 is my guess.
26. Yeah,
Bang.
he's 26. He's
Ball
6'6". Wow.
Yeah, he's a big dude, bro.
Dang.
Cannon.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of young players, that's for sure. Only with the Asian guys are like Joey B and Khalil Mack.
Derwin, I feel like you could start saying is aging.
He is.
But like, would you really call like what they have intriguing?
It's not intriguing. No, it's not.
It's just young.
But I don't know if they're. I mean, they could be number one pick contention.
They could, bro. I would
They
not be
really
surprised
could.
if you guys passed them up in their division.
Yeah, I think I would put number one pick contention.
I would too.
Sadly, bro.
Are you down for our bet this year to be Broncos Giants? Official bet offer on the table right now.
Broncos Giants. I have to accept the offer right now.
No, you don't have to accept it right now. But that's an official offer. Usually I say, oh, maybe I'll do this. But this is official offer.
I mean,
I really like the. I think the Giants, like, I don't think they're number one pick contention. But
let me sit on it a little bit. I like all the teams in that tier though to bet on. So,
sit on it, split on it.
yeah.
Jets. Are we taking the Jets as a playoff team?
Dude, it really just depends. I don't know how Aaron Rodgers is gonna come back. Like, do you see anything how like he'd even come to training camp because he was having like hallucinations or some shit?
I thought he went to Egypt.
It was something like that, and like he like had to miss like practice because he kept out seeing this like dark figure. He like
Oh my
took
gosh.
drugs from, or
What the fuck?
drugs with. Yeah, so like, I don't know. That guy might be like,
Fucked.
he might be kind of fucked. Yeah,
Fucked in the head.
yeah.
And then who's their backup now that they don't have Zach Wilson?
They have Tyrod Taylor.
Okay.
Which I kinda like.
Tyler Taylor could win you games.
Yeah, he definitely could. I
Okay,
think
look.
what you say?
Out of those 4 teams, as much as this pains me to say, I think the Colts probably have the highest chance of making the playoffs over the Jets.
The 4 teams left.
Yeah.
I could agree with that, actually. I really like Anthony Richardson.
I do too. And I like Michael Pittman. And I like Jonathan Taylor. And I think their defense is young and good. They drafted Latu.
Mm-hmm.
So I like where Izzy put him right now. I'm cool with that. And then putting Jets in potential wild card. Because I think they're in a tier of their own.
We could do that. Potential wild card, yeah.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do
Actually,
that.
do we drop the Colts one, bro? The Colts don't fit there. Look at those 4 teams and look at the Colts. It's like the picture of the clowns.
Uh-huh.
Or the clown with the army. Am I tripping or no?
Dolphins, Bengals, Cowboys.
Packers, Colts.
I mean, yeah, because the Colts didn't even make the playoffs last year.
Okay. Let's call our shot right now as podcasters. Consensus maybe doesn't think the Colts are there. Do we think the Colts are there?
Yeah.
Me and you.
Yeah.
I do too. Put them up, Izzy. Put them up. I got scared of the height.
This is our tier list.
This is our tier list.
Yes.
Fuck it. Texans, put them in Super Bowl favorites. Titans and Jags.
Titans. Are we all done with playoff teams? Is that
I feel like we
more
are.
than 14?
I think so, but some of those are potential.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Titans.
Titans are weird. I think
Yeah.
the Titans could make the playoffs, but I think I would say they're mediocre at best.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning towards mediocre or missing playoff team.
Let's roll with it.
Mediocre.
Mediocre.
Yeah, they kind of fit with those teams too, actually. Jaguars really disappointed me, man.
Would you call them young?
I'll call them young.
Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas, Trayvon Walker.
That's really young.
That's young. I think you could put them in
Travis
young and
Etienne, too.
intriguing.
Young and intriguing.
Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby.
Mhm.
Okay. Now we look at it and we discuss any movements. Are we putting the Cowboys up a level? Are we putting Raiders up? I guess that was another one I had, but I don't think so. I'm okay with the Cowboys going up. I'm okay with the Cowboys staying. And I think I feel the same way about the Dolphins too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of looking like those 2 Super Bowl contender teams, maybe they could have a couple more teams up there. I would say out of the 5 in playoff teams, I'd probably put the Dolphins maybe. So I'm trying to look. I feel like obviously the Dolphins are better than the Colts.
Yes.
I think they're better than the Bengals.
Yes.
Probably better than the Packers too.
Yes.
And then there's like them and the Cowboys, you know. You'd move up them too?
I think move them up them too.
Okay.
I think the way you said that, because you could argue Dolphins and like Texans and Eagles and Cowboys and all that, but you can't really argue like Dolphins and Bengals or Cowboys and Packers and.
But that kind of goes back to my other question though. Are the Cowboys better than the Eagles and Texans?
I don't think so, but also
I
I feel like this. Listen to this. This is gonna convince you right now. If like last year the Packers beat the Cowboys in the playoffs, that felt like an upset.
Yeah.
If the Bengals were to go into the playoffs and let's say beat the Dolphins, that would feel like an upset. I think if the Colts beat any of those 4 teams, it would feel like an upset.
Yeah.
Like if the Cowboys and the Texans played, it wouldn't feel like an upset if the Cowboys won. It would feel like they're on the same like level.
Mm-hmm.
Am I tripping or no?
Makes sense. Let's move them up.
Move them up. Move up the Cowboys. Move up the Dolphins. Move down the Broncos.
I think the Cowboys are at the lower end of that tier though.
Yes,
Like
I agree.
right where it's at right now. Actually, yeah.
I'm cool with everything else.
Let's see. So we got the Bengals and Green Bay Colts playoff teams. Got a lot of potential wild cards.
Yeah.
Buccaneers, Steelers, Falcons, Jets, Bills. I think it's a pretty solid list. Then we got Vikings, Browns, Raiders, Cardinals, Bears. I mean, out of all those teams, for the missing playoff teams, which one do you like the best?
I think the Cardinals. I think if you told me you have to move one up, I would move the Cardinals up, or maybe the Raiders.
Okay.
I think the Vikings could get moved down, but I don't think it's that deep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But everything else, I think if I had to make one change to ours, I would move the Vikings down. If I absolutely had to, but I'm okay where they are.
Yeah. But you say the Vikings are at the lower end?
Yes, they're the worst team in that tier by, I feel like, a good margin. But I think if they were in the tier under, then they'd probably be the best team of that tier.
Okay. Then we can stick with that. Yeah, it's a solid list.
I like it. I'm a fan.
Okay.
Punch it in. I'm locking. Final rundown for TikTok. Okay. Good call, Deucer. These are our official tier lists. These are our official tiers for the NFL next season. We have the Chiefs, Lions, Ravens, Niners, and Super Bowl contenders. We have the Texans, the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and Super Bowl. Wait, let me restart. Sorry, I fucked that up. Okay, started from the bottom. Now we way up. For number one pick contenders, we have the Chargers, we have the Broncos, we have the Giants, we have the Patriots. For young but intriguing, we have the Jaguars, Rams, Panthers. For mediocre at best, we have the Titans, Seahawks, Saints, Commanders. Missing playoff teams, we have the Vikings, Browns, Raiders, Cardinals, Bears. For potential wild cards, we have the Buccaneers, Seahawks, Falcons, Jets, Bills. Playoff teams, we have Bengals, Packers, Colts. Super Bowl contenders, Eagles, Texans, Dolphins, Cowboys, and Super Bowl favorites, we have Chiefs, Lions, Ravens, Seahawks. Let us know where we fucked up.
That's a great list in my opinion.
I think we hooped. I think we put up I think today, between trivia and this, was our best performance by far.
Yes, sir. And we're only getting better from here, baby.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Wrap it up, Will. Let's hear it.
Hey, man. This is our tier list. If you like if you're looking at right now, stick up for some more content that's coming up more later in the later videos. And lastly, run the play, but also run it too.
Run it.